Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment, where we love pop culture. Today, it's time to talk some AEW. We've got the big pay-per-view All Out coming this week, and these are going to be my predictions of the results of the matches for the pay-per-view. Now, first up, we have the buy-in with Dr. Britt Baker versus Big Swole. Now, so far this summer, the Doctor has pretty much done everything in her power to keep Big Swole away from her, but Big Swole is going to get that opportunity this Saturday in a tooth and nails match. What exactly that means? Well, it really hasn't been explained, but I'm thinking it's going to be some type of no DQ match with like dentistry or doctor equipment. I think something kooky is going to be thrown in there to give it that kind of like theme for this match. Now, I do think the Doctor will get the win. I don't think it's going to be fairly, of course. I think Reba, aka Rebel, will have some type of influence in this match, but I think the Doctor does get the win. I think AEW has a lot invested in Britt Baker, but with it not being a clean finish, I think Big Swole will eventually get a rematch and get that rubber match victory in the future. The next match on the list is the Dark Order versus the Natural Nightmares, Matt Cardona, and Scorpio Sky. Now, personally for me, this is actually the least exciting match of the night, at least on paper, but it could turn out completely different because you are going to have 8 wrestlers in there at one time, so all heck can break loose. Now, I know why this match is going on. They want the Natural Nightmares and Matt Cardona and Scorpio Sky to get revenge against the Dark Order for what they did to Cody Rhodes, but I think the Dark Order, they're riding with some momentum, and I think they're going to get the victory in this 8-man tag. Next up is Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in a Broken Rules match. Now, I think I'm not the only one that was kind of disappointed in the table match that these two had about a week and a half ago on Dynamite, and not because of the performance of these two wrestlers, but because of how short the match was. Here, we've got a pay-per-view, so they've got a lot of time. It's a broken rules match, which essentially means no DQ, and there is a stipulation that if Matt Hardy loses, he's gone from AEW. What does that mean? Well, I don't think Matt Hardy, one, is going to lose this match, but if he does, there's always that kind of like stipulation where Matt Hardy can just change his character and come back. But I do think Matt Hardy gets the win in this match. Next up is the Women's World Championship match between Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa. Now, for those of us who are unfamiliar with Thunder Rosa, we did get to see her wrestle this Wednesday on Dynamite. She did get the W, and she was pretty impressive. Now, I don't think they're going to have the NWA Women's World Champion come into AEW and win their title. It would be a nice twist and maybe have her wrestle another match or two and lose it to somebody on Dynamite, but I do think Hikaru Shida is going to walk out still with her title. Next up, we have a battle for the AEW Tag Team Championship as we see the champs, Omega and Hangman Page versus FTR. Now, I think pretty much the consensus is that FTR is going to walk out of All Out with the Tag Team Championships, and I think a lot of people are expecting Hangman Page to turn on Kenny Omega, but I think it's going to be the opposite. I think Omega turns on Hangman Page. I think he joins up with Tully Blanchard and they form some type of 4 horseman group. I think Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, a feud between them is inevitable, and I think Kenny Omega as the heel and Hangman Page as the face works much better. So I'm predicting FTR to walk out, Kenny Omega to turn on Hangman Page. Now for a little bit of bonus prediction. They've only announced 1 match for the buy-in, but I think there's going to be at least 1 more match, and I think we're going to see the Initiative square off against each other, or the former Initiative, as we saw Peter Avalon turn on Brandon Cutler. I think they're going to have a match this Saturday, and I think Peter Avalon, the Librarian, gets his first victory. Next up, we have the Mimosa Mayhem match between Le Champion, Chris Jericho, and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Now, each wrestler has 1 victory over the other, and I have enjoyed these guys' feud over the summer. They've had 2 good matches, and they've done some really fun things to build up to this match. But now, the important thing, who gets that victory? Who goes up 2-1? Who becomes the better man? Is it Le Champion, Chris Jericho, or is it freshly squeezed? You know what, guys? I have to go with Le Champion, Chris Jericho. I think he throws Orange Cassidy into this big dunk tank of Mimosa, and he gets the victory. Now it's time for the Casino Battle Royal. Now I'm sure AEW is going to throw in at least 1 or 2 surprise guests into this Casino Battle Royal, but I don't think there's going to be a surprise entrant like last time with Brian Cage winning the Battle Royal. I do think it is going to be somebody from Team Taz once again winning this Battle Royal, but I'm going to go with Ricky Starks winning it all. Next up, we have the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Now, this match was just formed this week here on Dynamite, and it really doesn't have much storyline. They're only going against each other because they were all on the same winning team. Now, I do expect them to have a good match, but does anybody think Jurassic Express is going to get the win over the Young Bucks? I don't think so. I'm going Young Bucks all the way. And now it's time for the main event as we have the challenger MJF going up against the current champ, Jon Moxley. Now, I'm predicting right now that MJF walks out of All Out with the heavyweight championship. I do believe it's time for, in MJF's words, time for a paradigm shift. And I think it's time for a little bit of a change. I do love Jon Moxley, but I do want to see MJF as the heavyweight champion. I think he'll bring a lot of new attitude to the program. And I think it's kind of what the programming needs right now. I think we need a new champ. I think we need a little bit of a new direction. I mean, I am loving Dynamite every single week, but I would like to see a little bit of a change, and I think it starts with electing MJF as your world champion. All right, guys, what do you think about my predictions? Who do you think walks out on top in any of these matches? Definitely leave me a comment below. And guys, if you like all things pop culture, that's what we do here on Toned In Entertainment. We've got like 60 wrestlers here on the channel, including guys that have been on AEW, from Lee Johnson to Fabu Andre, Jake the Snake Roberts, and Reba, aka Rebel. So definitely, guys, take a look around the channel. There's lots of cool stuff going on already, and there's lots of great stuff to come here in the future. All right, guys, we'll see you guys in the future, and let's have an awesome pay-per-view this Saturday.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.